I used to watch Hogan at Seminole for 3 hours. My mouth watered. But
what did it look like?
It just looked like a BMW running down on a white beach. A black BMW running on a beach with a beautiful ocean on the right. Just beauty and speed and balance. Just everything was perfection. But he worked it out.
Hey guys, I am super duper excited to announce the launch of MSE TV. I've been working on this for 3 years. It's all of my premium content for one low price, $9.95 a month. I've studied the golf swing with over 20 PGA teaching professionals, and a half a dozen of them are the most famous teachers in the world, and I've distilled it all down into the most practical lessons that were the most useful to me. I rebuilt my swing from being an average golfer to one of the better golfers at my club. You can do it too, but it's also full-length interviews with folks like Jack Nicklaus and Gary Player, and you get MSE Fitness. I was a personal trainer for one of the biggest chains in the United States 20 years ago, and what I know today completely contradicts what I was taught 20 years ago. So if you're not up to speed on current fitness trends, you really ought to check out MSE Fitness because it completely changed my life. Now you can get all this for the low introductory price of $9.95. That's a bargain. Some of these websites out there are $50 a month for golf instruction. But I've put in the work. I've made the best site I think there is on the web for golf instruction, and I hope you hit them long and hit them straight.
Ben Hogan said, I eventually learned how to play, the greatest striker of a ball ever, but I'm too old to put it into practice.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, really, it's quite a fascinating story.
If Ben Hogan would have putted well, he would have shot in the mid-50s every day.
He was hitting drivers. I've never seen anyone to this day hit them the same distance, the same direction.
His concept was to throw the right knee at the ball.
People say Hogan won't ever talk to you. Well, Hogan talked to me a lot.
Hogan was the best striker from tee to green that ever lived, without a question.
I'll tell you what he really was good at is dancing.
I go back a long way with Hogan. Great admiration for him as a golfer and to me as a person.
Ben Hogan had a tremendous influence on everyone who watched him play the game. Please enjoy this episode of Mr. Hogan starring Gary Player.
I'm Gary Player, and you're watching MSE TV.
Hey guys, today I am in Schwenksville, Pennsylvania to catch up with the legend himself, Gary Player. Gary Player won 9 major championships, 167 professional victories worldwide, and he even completed the Grand Slam on the Champions Tour. What an amazing competitor he is. He's a great businessman, a family man, and today we're going to have a fantastic conversation about Ben Hogan.
I learned so much watching Ben Hogan. And he was, in my opinion, I mean, look, Nicklaus has got the best record. Nobody can deny that. I mean, people make comparisons. You cannot make comparisons of champions in any sport anymore. They're all different eras. And if one is better than the other, it's only a tiny fraction anyway. And the thing is, you know, how good were they? How much longevity did they have? That's the big thing. You judge players like longevity. If you buy a car, what's the best car? The one that lasts the longest, right? That has the quality engine. Nobody talks about longevity. Sam Snead would take a lot of beating. This man was the greatest athlete that ever played golf, ever. But Hogan was the best striker from tee to green that ever lived, without a question, and had the most perfect golf swing, because he hit millions of balls. And when I see what people teach today, some of it is such hogwash. I see some guys on the regular tour now. I promise you, if they did what Hogan suggested and understood, that's the other thing. I haven't met anybody that really understood what Hogan, and I was lucky to be around him to hear a few things that I never heard in my life. If some of these players that are playing today did that, they'd be so much better. So much better. This man spent his life, he didn't have children, he spent his whole life hitting golf balls every day and working like a Trojan.
What did it look like when he hit a golf ball? I've heard that he hit it through the same window. I've heard that it had a unique sound.
Sound. Correct. The sound. And that was with inferior clubs.
Hogan missed tournaments because of the war, the accident, the PGA and the British conflicting schedule-wise.
You see, I tell my grandchildren there are no ifs in sport, unfortunately. But there is an if. If there is an if, Hogan goes to war for 5 years. He wins 9 majors, goes to war for 9 years, has an accident. So basically for 30 plus minus majors, he doesn't play in his prime. 30 in his prime. And then he goes along and he has this terrible accident, but then he wins the 3 majors. Now he's at the British Open. He cannot get back for the PGA to prepare properly. Tiger Woods, when they play the British Open, he finishes at 6 at night. He is in his bed that same night at 11 o'clock because he has his own jet and the time change of 5 hours.
Right.
So he gets back. Hogan couldn't get back within weeks to prepare. Went by boat or a plane that went backwards, you know. I mean, it's just so, and can you imagine him playing with this equipment? You know, we used to cut greens, and I used to help my greenkeeper. He had a hand mower and a rope tied to the front. I'd pull and he'd push. Hand mowers, that's what they do all the greens with. All the greens were done with hand mowers.
What do you think was Ben Hogan's secret? Was there a technique that he kept secret, or did it get revealed?
He said to one of my dear friends, I'm going to my grave with most of my secrets. He said to one of my best friends. And I thought that was kind of sad in a way. He didn't like rich young kids at all because he was poor and he worked hard and he really believed in a work ethic. Man, this guy worked hard. And I'll never forget, I was playing at the US Open, my first US Open. And who do I draw? Ben Hogan. Oh, man, I was so tickled. I walk on the first tee, Southern Hills, and I finished second in my first US Open, and I'm playing with Hogan, and I walk on the tee. I go, morning, sir. Morning, fella. Played 36 holes. He said, good morning, fella, twice. And at the end of the 36 holes, he said, well played, fella. That's 7 words. Somebody said, why was he so talkative? This guy said...
He must have liked you.
Well... I'm Gary Player, and you're watching MSE TV.
Guys, I am so fired up because MSE TV is the bomb. I've got interviews with Jack Nicklaus, Gary Player, Chichi Rodriguez. I've got my driving evolution. Now I can crush it well over 300. I've also got MSE Fitness. I give you all my diet and workout tips. You get all of this for one low monthly price. You've got to get MSE TV. It's the future of golf television.